So anyway, what we did, we went and ran a 24-hour endurance run. Do you want to know what it was called?
What am I doing?
What was it called?
Lake
Ridge Endurance Run. It was held at Crater Lake State Park in Dublin, Virginia. On our way to 24-hour endurance run. Are you guys ready?
There's a breakfast time. I don't hear.
Ready as I can be, Steve. Fixing to find out. I thought I was pretty good ready. I mean, go in there. That's a good shot.
Yeah. Like, I don't really know if we're ready for those mountains. Look at those mountains. It's the only thing.
No, yeah.
I don't know. But the ride there was beautiful. These mountains are beautiful. Not near as beautiful as my lovely wife.
Are you serious right now?
No, this is entering into the state park.
Sandy's brain.
So we got there, and you were trying on shoes like you always do.
Yeah.
Billy's deciding on his shoes. As always, we're here at Lake Ridge Park, Clayton Lake. About to do a 24-hour run in about 10 minutes. It's a beautiful day. You brought, how many pair of shoes did you bring?
Well, I just brought three pair. 2 trail and one more like a thicker road type shoe.
Okay.
Because I didn't know how much. I saw the pictures of the trails, but I didn't know how much was going to be asphalt, and how much was going to be trail, and then how rough the trail was going to be.
Yeah.
And so I ultimately decided to do the first 2 laps, which is 8 miles, in my Saucony Peregrines, the trail shoes.
Yeah.
And they did great. I didn't have any problems, except for the flat asphalt part, because they're not soft. I mean, they have a firm softness, but they're not like. So I was concerned about over time my knees. I was already starting to feel it in my knees when I got on the asphalt in those shoes.
It said it was a mile of asphalt, but I really didn't notice.
No, I didn't either.
I mean, there was, I guess, but
yeah, I think. Well, when you left the aid station and went into the woods, that was a good little bit, and we most of the time just walked that part usually.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, that was my first. I did my first 8 miles in those. So, and I was fine, except I was getting worried about maybe my knees over the long term.
Yeah.
So then I switched to my Ultra Provisions, which were the road shoes. And when I left that aid station and got on the asphalt, it was like, wah! Like it was soft, and it was relief. So it felt great. But then when we got on the trails and got on those little river rock type rocks, at that point they didn't feel bad on that lap, but you could feel like my Sauconys, they would go over it because they have a rock plate. So I guess they would spread the poke, the
And
rock
those are-
poke out.
The Sauconys, they're not road shoes. Are
No,
they?
they're trail with
okay.
the rock plate and everything.
When did you switch back to those?
Not till 24 miles.
Yeah. Yeah, so I started with the with my Hokas. Oh, what kind of Hokas are those? What are they called?
Torrents. They're like the
Torrent?
Torrent 2s or something. Yep.
Hoka Torin, and I threw them away after this run.
Oh, did
'cause
you?
they were tore up.
Well, you've had them a while though.
Yeah, and then I switched to my Brooks, and I don't think those are broke in yet. So Brooks Cascadia, and they did great, except I don't know, they're kind of stiff because they got the rock plate.
Yeah.
Once you get to the trail, the Brooks are great, but they're just horrible on road.
Yeah, that's the problem I was having with the Saucony, the Peregrines.
So I kept switching back and forth like
Yeah.
almost every other lap, and that was wasting a lot of time with aid stations.
Mm-hmm. I was having problems.
My plan was, the beginning of this race was actually just stop at the aid just for food and water. I wasn't planning on stopping at the tent every time
No.
like I did.
Yeah, me either.
But anyway, so when we got there, we saw Terry Hayes. You don't mind being videoed, do you? Terry Hayes?
Right.
And if any of you guys don't know who Terry Hayes is, we used to call her Ultra Terry. She's the one who, I don't know if she prefers Ultra Terry. I don't know. But,
I don't know where that started. That's all I knew her as for. I didn't know her last name for years.
well, yeah, it's Terry Hayes, and she, she's 80 years old. She told us that later on, but it took her just a second, and I told her my name, and then she immediately realized who we were, and she asked about Daddy and Mama and everybody, the whole family.
Cut-off times that I can't make. They do have a 24-hour. Oh, actually, that's coming up the end of the month. I forgot about that one. I keep saying I'm going to do it, but I never have.
Oh.
Say hello to my dad and mom. Well, caught you food in your mouth.
I wish they were here. I would love to see them.
Yeah, they would look.
We ran with her on the trail, run into her multiple times, and it was just a joy to talk with her and run with her.
Yeah, and she was like very hyper.
Yeah.
Like
Andrew said she was funny.
Yeah.
Andrew ran with her some.
You'll come off the trail at the far end of the park, and you'll hit this pavement again, and you'll run about 3/4 of a mile back up to here. Pretty straightforward course. There's one.
So I don't remember the race director's name. Do you remember her name?
No, I don't think I ever have known it. She probably told us, but I can't remember.
I can't remember her name. I mean, it was in the emails, but she was real good, real nice lady.
Yeah.
And, she's kind of like, Ultra Terry. She puts on this race for free, just asking for donations. And, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, she does. The aid station always looked pretty stocked and everything, and she cooked food. I mean, I never ate any of it. I think we were pretty much efficient on that one.
We had a pretty sweet setup ourselves.
Yeah.
The guy who camped behind us, this guy who did the 50-miler.
Guy in orange shoes, tall guy.
Yeah, he complimented on our tent setup.
Yeah, a few times. I heard him
tent with the tarp, and it was pretty. We had cots inside,
Yeah.
which that cot came in very handy for me. I'll have to explain later. So that was us. We ran into our first lap into the woods. Andrew ran with us the first lap, and I wanted to run with him mostly the first lap, and he ran pretty good. He ran like a 12 and a half minute pace that first 4 miles. He ran with us and stayed with us. I mean, I had to wait on him just maybe like 20 seconds at certain
We
points.
didn't wait it long at all.
About 3.5 miles in, there's the lake. Andrew should be coming down the trail. Any minute now. There he is.
You did it. Almost.
And then we got around, and around the next 4 miles, and he decided to take a break. So that's when we decided just to go ahead and turn it on a lap, right?
Yeah. We went faster. We got back within our 12-minute pace.
Yeah. That's what we were shooting for, like 12, between 12 and 13, right?
Yeah, ish. Yep.
We were cruising, going pretty good until at the end of mile 20. I remember at mile 20 we were at 4 hours.
Yeah.
So what lap was that? That was at the end of a lap at 20 miles.
That'd be the end of 5 laps.
5 laps.
Yeah.
So that was
Beginning of
lap
our 6.
5.
Yeah.
It was 20 and 20 miles, lap 5, or 5 laps. And I was feeling good. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I was feeling good in my feet. So at that point, 8 miles, and then I ran another 8 in those provisions. And that first lap, those provisions were fine, but the second lap, I started feeling the stones up in the shoe.
Yeah.
Because they were the road shoes and no rock plate or anything. And by the time of that,
there were some stones.
yeah,
Not like the Uwaris, but they were like loose stones.
Yeah, and just like you couldn't help stepping on them, and
yeah.
But anyway, and they were like in a bunch of different spots, so throughout the course. But by the end of that second lap with those shoes, I couldn't wait to get them off my feet. Yeah, so that was 16. So at 16 miles, I switched to my Long Peaks.
Yeah.
So that was my third pair of shoes, and so I ran in those, and those felt great. They felt better on the asphalt than my Peregrine, my Saucony, and better on the trail than my Provisions, but they weren't as good on the stones as my Saucony. So the stones were still, but I decided to give them 2 laps. So at 20, so that was 20 miles. So I still had another. So at that point, I was getting concerned about my feet. So, but I felt good, like you did. I felt like I had plenty of energy. All my muscles were fine. I mean, it was. I mean, I didn't feel like I ran 20. I mean, it was like I didn't even feel like
20 miles. The only problem at 20 miles is that's when it started getting hot.
Oh man,
And
it was terrible. I
I remember coming to the tent where Karen and Andrew were, and I just needed water. My legs were feeling good. Like I had, my heart rate was good. Everything was good, but I needed water, and just started. Everything I could find, I grabbed the water. I chugged it. I grabbed. I think Andrew had some Izzy's. I chugged an Izzy.
I think I did too.
And
I remember.
And then I just started looking through the cooler, and Karen had some super coffee. It's like cold super coffee.
Yeah. Oh, so you drunk one of those out there?
Yeah, I chugged
Oh, I
it.
didn't know that. When you were telling me about the coffee, I thought you meant that morning.
No, I drink I drink a coffee early in the morning, but it doesn't have a whole lot of caffeine. The super coffee has 200 milligrams of caffeine.
Oh.
I chugged that super coffee, and it's cold, and it tasted so good, and it gave me some energy, but I can't have a whole lot of caffeine. That's just my mistake. If I have too much caffeine, there's a lot of things happen. I get dehydrated, and when I get dehydrated, especially when it's hot, you know, all the bad things can happen. But I got like a mile and a half in, and you were with me. I got about a mile and a half in, and I could feel my heart just pounding, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah,
and everything was
kind
kind of, everything was kind of spinning. And the number one thing I was worried about was seizures, because if I have too much caffeine, every time I've had a seizure, I can usually relate it to too much caffeine or dehydration. So that was my mistake. I knew right then that I needed to just stop and slow down and take a break. So I decided right then to walk it in, and I was monitoring my heart rate while I was walking in, and it's like a mile, 2.5 miles I walked.
Yeah, I remember that lap. Yep, that's the lap you came in and took a nap on.
Yeah, so
and
I was really worried.
And I ate the first half of my Baconator.
Yeah, because Karen had left.
Yeah.
When we left out from on to lap 6, they went to get a Baconator for us. Because it was my suggestion. Baconator from Wendy's. Which was really good, but I ate it in many, like 3 or 4 halves. But anyway, so I get back from lap 6, I took a nap in one of those cots in our tent. And that nap ended up being like a 30 to 45 minute nap. And I got up from that nap, and you had just came back from like lap 7, I think.
Yeah, that was my...
When you came back, it woke me up. I jumped up, and I'm like, all right, I'm ready to go. I had a lot of energy. Good energy.
That's, yeah, you did. I couldn't keep up with you on that lap. But that was so I had put my Peregrines back on at that point too.
That's when I started eating the Baconator.
Oh, that Baconator was awesome.
Yeah,
that was. Baconator. I've never had one before, but I don't know if it was so good because I was so hungry. But
yeah, probably.
Last time I had to go take a food. Come around.
Baconator. How many miles have I done?
I don't know.
I've done 24 miles, and I had to take a power nap. Those guys over there are real ultra runners.
They're done too.
Oh yeah.
What are you guys doing?
We're taking. I had to take a.
break?
I had to take a. Yeah, I had to take a power nap.
I had to go take a break too. It sucks when you get old. I have to go redo my eyes. re-stick my teeth back in my mouth. Yeah, because my eyes get so. It's just all this crap you have to do.
How old are you?
Would you believe I'm 80 years old?
80?
And it sucks.
Really?
I mean, everything gets so hard. And yeah, well, I've had ibuprofen. I've redone my eyes. I've redone my teeth. I hope I'm good for a few more loops. I gotta get some food now.
So what'd she say? She said she had to redo her teeth.
Redone her eyes, redone her teeth, and
I don't know.
hopefully she's good
Maybe
for
she was just
till tomorrow or something. Yeah. I don't know
I
how
think
far.
she did 32 miles.
Okay. Yeah, she said she was excited. No, not at that point, but when we were packing up, she was excited that she was like, I'm going to get a 50K. And she had just met up with some old guy that was going to run with her.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, she's awesome. Okay. Here we are. About 32 miles in. And it has been grueling. These hills out here are just up and down. This trail is nice, well groomed. It's not like the Uwharries. It's easy, but the hills are big, so it's hard. There's no 100 miles for me today. I don't know how many miles I'll get, but keep trucking along. Yeah, the hills there were, I think the hills were, if you compare it to, like I think I ended up doing 38 or 39 miles and 38 miles, right? No, I did 36.
probably more than that, running around like we did.
No, I think I did, you did 40, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I did 36. Well, if you compare it to the Uwharrie Marathon, I mean, you can't really, because the marathon's a whole lot smaller than, 36 or 40 miles. But there's more hills in this run.
Yeah, the elevation gain was more than the Uwharrie Marathon.
And the hills are just kept going up and down. There was never any flats except for the little bit of road.
Yeah, that's about it. And it was hot, with no wind, and humid.
After I ate the Baconator, I did one good lap, and then I got lost.
Oh yeah, you got lost.
I got lost a lot, but this one time I got lost right when you were behind me, and I was feeling so good, but I missed a turn. You come off of the trail, you're almost done, you come off the trail, and it goes to asphalt and takes a hard left. I mean, it comes off the trail, takes a hard left onto asphalt.
Yeah.
I didn't take that left. I went straight onto the road.
Yeah.
And started running up the road. And then realized, yeah, right here.
Maybe that's it.
That's it. I'll put that on the screen. So, yeah, that's right there. I was supposed to take this left right here. I went this way. And actually, this time I turned around. I went all the way here and turned around and come back. But then the next lap I did it again. And then, but I just didn't bother to come back. I kept going. I guess I cheated. But
Yeah.
you went on. So I was trying to catch up to you when I turned around and came back. So I felt so good. I was trying to catch back up and regain what I lost and catch up to you. And I finally got to the road and I could see you getting close to the finish line. And I was like, oh, I'm feeling good. I'm going to see how fast I can go. Which was a mistake. So I looked at my watch and I'm like clocking 7-minute miles.
Oh,
like
yeah.
close to 6. Yeah. I was feeling good, and that was at like mile, for me it was like mile 27, something like that, 20, I can't remember. But after that, did another lap, and every lap I was having IT band problems the whole time. And I think I did 3 or 4 more laps with IT band issues, and it kept getting worse and worse. Kept trying to stretch it out. IT band kept getting worse and worse, all because I sprinted like that, or I don't know if you call it a sprint. It was like a high-speed chase.
Yeah.
Trying to regain what I lost, which was dumb because,
Yeah.
you know, you're going to...
That was a race of a bunch of mistakes we made.
Yeah, I mean, well...
Our mistakes done us in.
I signed up to that race, to see, because it's a 24-hour race, you know, to see what I'm capable of. And I figured it out. I'm capable of making a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
I think my body, I was definitely capable of doing more as far as physically, my body, if I didn't damage myself in that way. So, I mean, so I called it after I just realized I was going to have to walk every lap because my IT band, it was just painful.
Yeah.
My IT band has never been so bad. So...
No, I called it too. After 40, I just didn't see, I didn't see any reason, I mean, like, energy-wise and all that, I felt fine, but my feet were killing me, and I started getting some quad soreness, which is an injury I had last year, and that started scaring me that was going to flare up and I was going to be out of running for a few months again, but
yeah.
But who knows? The next day I felt fine. They were a little sore, and my feet felt fine the next day, until I went to the beach and did a barefoot mile.
Oh,
and
really?
The blisters I got from that run. That was a mistake. But anyway, it was I should have never ran that those 16 miles or 8 miles in those provisions. And that girl told us, she was at the start, the race director told us, she said, everybody runs the first few laps and thinks, the rocks aren't that bad, but she told us that that's where everybody makes their mistake, is they think that, and then a few laps later their feet are killing them. And that's what she said. She said she just suggests us to take care of our feet early, which I was trying to do, but if I ever do another trail ultra, I'm gonna have a real legit pair of ultra trail shoes, like some Speed Goats or something like known as a ultra trail shoe.
What do you mean if?
Yeah, well,
No, I don't know.
While I was at that point at 40, I was like, I was thinking I would never do. I told you I was going to be like Chad and Chili. Chili, he says he's retired from ultra running.
Yeah.
Retire from ultra running.
It's easy to get that way,
Yeah.
especially 40 miles into a run. I mean, I'm already trying to plan my next adventure run, but it's not something I want to pay for.
Yeah, that's how I was thinking the same thing today.
Yeah, and it's something I want to travel a whole long distance for, as that involves a lot more money.
Yeah. I was thinking about running to Salisbury and back
Yeah,
one day.
something,
It's
yeah.
50 miles.
But-
It's funny how fast you get rid of those.
Yeah.
How fast you forget how painful it is.
But no, the guy who was camping behind us, he commented on our tent. He also commented on our shirts. We didn't plan it, but I was wearing this shirt, Jesus is King shirt, and you were wearing a shirt about I don't know, what does it say?
The love serve repeat shirt from my church, Christ
Yeah,
Point.
so we didn't plan on wearing
No,
any
that
kind of
shirt just feels.
religious shirt.
It's just a light
I got this
cotton
shirt at Goodwill,
mix shirt.
but and the guy commented on it. He's like, "I like y'all's shirts." And that's really all he said. Maybe I talked to him for a little bit more about other stuff, but he was a pretty good guy. But it's cool to know that people out there are watching, doing that, watching other Christians, you know, and that there's other Christians out there. I mean, I feel like he could have been a Christian.
Yeah,
Knowing that there's other people out there that are seeing just something as simple as a shirt.
yeah. 'Cause
Nobody
it could-
really asked us about Christ, but
No,
they
but
could.
It
you
could
know,
motivate him to. I mean, like we weren't thinking about that.
No.
But it could motivate him. Like it might have motivated him to. He might have left there and got him back in church or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Like got him reading the Bible.
I can't remember his name either, but he used to have a gym in Concord. Did
Yeah,
you hear
he
that?
said that. Yeah,
Yeah.
up by the Speedway.
Over by the Speedway, but
Yeah.
now he lives in Virginia. So I don't know if somehow you watch this. I like you, man.
Now the shirt things, that was cool because he said something because like there is something to that. Like if you give your all to Christ, I mean that sounds stupid, but just as simple as like if you have instead of buying shirts with, you have a whole closet of shirts with useless slogans on them.
Mm-hmm.
And instead you like, well, I want shirts with verses or
No.
praises to Jesus on it. Then that preaches in a way. I mean, I know it's annoying going out and seeing some people's shirts. You know, that's always, but it can be. But it's really
Well,
it does speak to like if
everybody's
it's a voice. A shirt.
everybody's shirt. I mean, not everybody's. I get V-necks from Old Navy that has nothing on it.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Your shirt
There's
don't
a
have
lot
to
of
say
time-
anything. You know.
but I don't know. 9 times out of 10, a shirt says something.
Yeah,
It says either North Face, Patagonia, or
yeah.
I don't know.
There's nothing
says
wrong
something.
with that.
Why can't it say something about Christ?
Yeah,
What's wrong with that?
nothing. And there's nothing wrong with saying Patagonia either.
Well, maybe
Well,
not.
yeah.
I don't
You
know.
I don't know what they. There could be, but I don't know. There is something to that what you brought up that, for sure. Like even given clothes you wear, speaks.
But anyway, just to end it with a little verse, and it's not really even about running. It's about endurance. Romans 5:3-4. Not only that, but we rejoice in our sufferings, knowing that suffering produces endurance, and endurance produces character, and character produces hope. So, suffering is good.
Yeah.